Welcome to the Resolution Room. I'm Robert Holmes, and today we're tackling an issue that affects every professional environment: workplace conflict. Disagreements at work are inevitable, whether it's a misunderstanding with a coworker, a personality clash, or a dispute over responsibilities. How we handle these conflicts determines our success and it either creates a positive workplace culture or destroys it. So, how can we navigate professional disputes effectively without damaging relationships or productivity? That's what we'll explore today. Let's start with the basics. Why is there conflict at work? If everyone is here for a common goal with their particular self-interests motivating factors, why would there ever be conflict at work? Here are the most common reasons. Miscommunication. A simple misunderstanding, especially through email, can escalate into a major issue. Personality differences. Just like in the real world, different working styles, communication preferences, or values can create tension at work. Competing priorities. Conflicts over deadlines, resources, i.e., promotional opportunities, or goals can lead to frustration, which is an emotional reaction that can lead to conflict. Lack of recognition. Feeling undervalued or unheard can create resentment amongst team members or within an organization. Unclear roles and expectations. When responsibilities aren't clearly defined, people will always step on each other's toes. Here's an example. Imagine two employees, Taria and Alex. Taria emails Alex asking for a report by Friday. Alex assumes she means by the end of the day, while Taria needed it by noon for a presentation. Because they never clarified, Taria is frustrated and Alex feels unfairly blamed. A simple miscommunication turned into an unnecessary conflict. Not everyone approaches conflict the same way. According to the Thomas Kilmann conflict model, there are 5 conflict styles: avoiding, accommodating, competing, compromising, and collaborating. Avoiding is ignoring a conflict and hoping it goes away. Accommodating, giving in order to keep the peace, even if it's unfair. Competing is trying to win at all costs, having to get the last word in. Compromising is finding a middle ground, but both sides give up something. And collaborating is working together for a win-win solution. Which style do you find yourself utilizing the most? The most effective approach is often collaboration, but it requires open communication and problem-solving skills. Now that we understand why workplace conflict happens and how people respond, let's talk about how to handle it effectively. Here's a simple 4-step framework. Step 1, address the issue early. Small issues can grow into big ones when ignored. You should approach the person privately and calmly while being respectful and express your concerns. Instead of saying, "You never include me in decisions," say, "I'd love to be more involved in work decisions. Can we find a way to collaborate more?" Step 2, focus on facts, not feelings. Stick to objective details instead of making it personal. Use I statements instead of placing blame. Here's an example. Instead of saying, "You always interrupt me in meetings," say, "I feel unheard when I don't get a chance to share my thoughts." Step 3, listen and find common ground. Conflict often happens because people feel misunderstood. Ask, "What's important to you in this situation?" Repeat back their perspective to show you're listening. Step 4, work together toward a solution. Identify shared goals and brainstorm solutions. If 2 workers disagree over who should lead a project, they might split responsibilities or agree on rotating leadership roles throughout the project. But what if your conflict is with a boss or a senior leader? That can feel even trickier. Here's how to handle it professionally. Be solution oriented. Instead of just pointing out problems, come to the table with solutions. And frame the feedback constructively. Instead of saying, "You never support my ideas," say, "I'd love to understand how I can align my ideas more with the team's goals." And know when and when not to escalate. If a serious issue like harassment or unethical behavior isn't resolved, escalate to HR. But be mindful of needlessly copying the boss's boss and the boss's boss's boss on an email. And sometimes conflicts can be resolved one-on-one and need escalation. So when should you involve HR? Whenever there's harassment or discrimination issues or anything else that can get you or the organization sued, ongoing toxic behavior that affects team dynamics, and when there are clear policy violations that require a formal intervention. But before escalating, document the issue, keep all your emails, all your meeting notes, or incidents recorded for clarity. Let's take a look at a real world example. Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak, co-founders of Apple, had very different approaches when it came to work. Jobs was a visionary, while Wozniak was more technical. They often clashed on ideas but found a way to turn their differences into a strength. Their ability to navigate disagreements productively led to groundbreaking innovation. Imagine if they couldn't get along. We could possibly be living in a different timeline where a phone was still just a phone. Scary. Before we wrap up, here are today's key takeaways. Workplace conflict is normal. It's how you handle it that matters. Understanding conflict styles can help you navigate disputes more effectively. Address issues early, focus on the facts, remove emotion, and use active listening to find solutions. In conflicts with managers, they require additional professionalism and they require you to be solution oriented. And again, never copy the entire organization on an email. After you finish this podcast, if you face a workplace disagreement, try the 4-step conflict resolution framework. Notice how it changes the conversation. Write down what happened so you never forget and remember those feelings. That's it for today's episode. If you found this discussion to be helpful, please subscribe, leave a review, and share this podcast with someone who might benefit. I'm Robert Holmes, and this has been The Resolution Room. See you next time.